Welcome, dear dreamer. Tonight, as the world grows quiet and the stars begin to shimmer, we'll drift into a soft, glowing mystery, one that has followed us for all of human history. Look up at the night sky. Do you see that bright, round companion watching over us? The moon, so calm, so constant. But have you ever noticed it never turns away? Why does the moon always show us the same face? Why, no matter how many nights pass, does it never spin to reveal its hidden side? Tonight, we'll gently uncover the secret behind this quiet, cosmic friendship between Earth and its silent partner in the sky, the moon. Our planet's faithful companion has been drifting across the night sky for billions of years. It is not just a bright circle that catches our eyes when the stars awaken. It is Earth's closest neighbor in the vast, endless sea of space. If you step outside on a quiet, clear night and lift your gaze toward the heavens, the moon seems near enough to touch. Yet it floats about 400 kilometers away, a distance so immense that even light, traveling at unimaginable speed, takes just over a second to journey from the moon to Earth. Still, in the language of the cosmos, that is close. So close, in fact, that our planet and its satellite are forever bound together by an invisible thread of gravity, dancing around one another in a delicate rhythm that has lasted since time began. The moon was not always Earth's companion. Long ago, when the world was young and molten, something extraordinary happened. A giant object, perhaps as large as Mars, collided with our newborn planet, sending streams of molten rock and vapor into the blackness of space. Those fairy fragments began to circle Earth, pulled in by its powerful gravity, slowly gathering, swirling, and fusing into a glowing sphere. Over countless ages, that sphere cooled, hardened, and became what we now know as the moon. From that moment on, the two bodies were bound together, Earth and moon, as if destiny itself had chosen them to share an eternal connection. From our vantage point, the moon seems constant and familiar. It rises, it sets, it waxes and wanes, lighting up the night in silvery hues. Yet beyond its beauty lies a deeper truth. The moon has shaped the Earth in ways most never imagine. Its gravitational pull tugs at our oceans, creating tides that rise and fall in an ancient rhythm. These tides breathe life into the world's shores, stirring the waters, shaping coastlines, and influencing the rhythms of countless living things. Without the moon's pull, the seas would rest too still, and the Earth's rotation might drift out of balance. It is the moon's presence that steadies our planet's tilt, keeping our seasons predictable and our climate stable enough for life to thrive. And while Earth feels the moon's influence, the moon too has been sculpted by its mother planet. The side that always faces us bears smooth plains, vast stretches of solidified lava called Maria, or seas, named by ancient astronomers who thought they were oceans. They reflect sunlight softly, giving the moon its gentle glow. The far side, hidden from our view, is different, rough, mountainous, and deeply scarred by ancient impacts. Both faces tell stories written in stone, reminders of a shared past that began with fire and chaos and settled into calm companionship. Because the moon is so near, it has always captured human imagination more than any other celestial body. Ancient civilizations built calendars around its phases. Farmers watched its changing shape to mark time for planting and harvest. Poets and lovers spoke to it in whispers, believing it could hear their thoughts. Sailors trusted its light to guide their ships safely through dark seas. And children, even now, look up and wonder if someone lives there, if perhaps it watches back through telescopes and spacecraft. We've come to know it more intimately, yet it remains mysterious. When astronauts first stepped upon its silent surface, they described the horizon as endless, the airless sky black beyond comprehension. Standing there, they could see Earth hanging above them, blue, white, and alive. The moon became a mirror in that moment, showing us not only what lies beyond, but what we truly are, fragile travelers in an infinite expanse, held steady by bonds unseen. The moon's closeness also allows it to play with our light and shadow. During a solar eclipse, it glides perfectly across the face of the sun, fitting so precisely that day turns briefly into night. No other planet in our solar system enjoys such a spectacle, and it happens only because of a coincidence of size and distance. The moon is about 400 times smaller than the sun, but also about 400 times closer to Earth. That delicate balance creates one of nature's most breathtaking illusions. A reminder that our cosmic neighbor, though small, has power beyond measure. Its surface may seem still and lifeless, but it bears the marks of time. Craters carved by asteroids and comets, dust untouched for eons, and rocks that hold the memory of ancient worlds. It is silent, yes, but silence is not emptiness. It is a keeper of stories, echoing the birth of planets, the fury of creation, and the slow dance of gravity that continues even now. From Earth, we see it as a companion, To the universe, it is simply one of countless moons orbiting countless worlds. Yet for us, it holds a unique and tender place. Our first step into space, our mirror in the dark, our reminder that even in the vast loneliness of the cosmos, companionship exists. The moon is our closest neighbor, not just by distance, but by destiny, by history, by the quiet pull that keeps it forever near, circling, watching, and glowing softly through the endless night. If you look at the moon night after night, something curious reveals itself. No matter when or where you stand on Earth, the moon's face never changes. The same familiar pattern of dark seas and pale highlands gazes down from the sky, as though the moon has chosen to show us only one side of itself forever. The other side, the one that remains unseen, hides just beyond the curve of its orbit, cloaked in quiet mystery. For centuries, this unchanging face puzzled dreamers, astronomers, and poets alike. Why does this celestial neighbor, which glides through the heavens in perfect grace, never turn fully around? Why does it seem to prefer showing us just one face, keeping the other tucked away, as if holding a secret meant only for the stars? Long before science offered explanations, ancient people gave the moon's habit a soul. They believed it was alive, a watcher in the sky, gazing down with eternal patience. Some imagined the moon as a guardian spirit that refused to look away from Earth, always keeping its light upon the sleeping world. Others told stories of gods or lovers turned to stone, forever facing the ones they adored. In these early myths, the moon's stillness wasn't a question to solve, but a symbol to cherish. It represented loyalty, constancy, and the comforting rhythm of something that never changes, even as everything else does. But the universe has its own quiet mechanics. And the reason behind this mysterious habit lies not in romance but in motion, in a cosmic dance choreographed by gravity itself. The moon spins on its axis just as Earth does, but it spins at a very special pace. It completes one full rotation on its axis in exactly the same time it takes to orbit around Earth, about 27.5 days. That means for every time the moon travels once around our planet, it also spins once upon its own center. This perfect synchronization keeps one hemisphere forever facing Earth, while the other always faces away. This phenomenon is known as tidal locking, a term that sounds cold and mechanical, but its story is anything but. Billions of years ago, when the moon was newly formed, it did not turn so gently. It spun more quickly, showing different faces to Earth with each passing night. But Earth's gravitational pull was strong, tugging not only on the moon's orbit, but also on its very body. Over endless eons, these gravitational tugs created subtle friction within the moon, slowing its rotation little by little. The energy from that tugging turned to heat, which gradually dissipated into space. With each cosmic heartbeat, the moon's spin slowed until at last it matched the rhythm of its orbit. Now, both bodies moved together in harmony, Earth turning, the moon circling, each locked in an invisible embrace. The same face we see tonight is the same one ancient people saw thousands of years ago, and it will be the same one our distant descendants see long after we're gone. That permanence gives the moon a strange intimacy, as though it knows us, as though it has been watching our world grow and change while remaining still itself. If you've ever looked closely at the moon's face through a telescope, or even with the naked eye, you may recognize its markings. The dark plains called Maria, the bright highlands, the familiar craters like eyes and mouths drawn across its surface. These shapes are more than geological features. They are the moon's expression, the gentle, unmoving countenance it presents to Earth. And just beyond its curved edge, hidden from view, lies the far side, rougher, more heavily scarred by ancient impacts, a world that never turns toward us. When spacecraft first orbited the moon and photographed this hidden half, humanity was astonished. The far side was so different, so unfamiliar, that it almost felt like discovering a second moon. Yet it had always been there, quietly circling with the same grace, unseen but never absent. The mystery, once mythic, had become something tangible, a testament to the delicate balance of forces that shape the cosmos. This single visible face also plays a role in how we experience the moon's light, because it never changes orientation toward Earth. Its surface features seem fixed, steady, reliable. The phases of the moon, new crescent half, full, are caused not by its spinning, but by the shifting play of sunlight across this one visible side. The same landscape that glows fully during a full moon later fades into shadow during a new moon. Not because the moon has turned away, but because light itself has changed its angle. It's as if the moon, though motionless in its gaze, wears a series of shifting masks created by the sun's slow dance across the sky. This strange, loyal behavior is rare, but not unique. Across the galaxy, many moons orbiting other planets are tidally locked as well, forever showing one face to their parent worlds. Yet none are as deeply woven into the stories of life as our moon is with Earth. For us, its unchanging face has become a symbol of constancy amid chaos, of presence amid distance, of the gentle reminder that not all things need to turn to be alive. Each night when it rises calm and unhurried, it seems to whisper that some mysteries are not meant to frighten us, but to comfort us. The way the same familiar face greets us through centuries and seasons, through storms and silence. The moon's habit, quiet and eternal, connects every human heart beneath its light in the same shared gaze. The face of the moon that we always see from Earth, the one glowing softly in the night sky, is known as the near side. It is the moon's eternal expression, a surface of light and shadow that has watched over humanity since the dawn of time. From every place on our planet, whether from a quiet village, a desert plain, or a mountain peak, it is this same side that greets our eyes. The near side of the moon is more than just half of a sphere. It is a familiar landscape, one that holds within it the story of creation, collision, and calm endurance. Its surface, though silent, tells tales written in stone and dust, shaped by the slow and patient hand of time. When you gaze at the near side of the moon, what you see is not uniform brightness, but a patchwork of light and dark. The lighter areas are the lunar highlands, older, mountainous regions covered with craters that have survived for billions of years. They shimmer softly under sunlight, reflecting it more strongly because they are made of a material rich in aluminum and poor in iron. These highlands are ancient, scarred witnesses of the early solar system, where countless asteroids once rained upon young worlds. The darker regions, spreading like shadows across the moon's surface, are called Maria, the Latin word for seas. The ancient astronomers who first looked up at them thought they were vast bodies of water. In truth, they are solid plains of basalt, cooled lava that once flowed from immense volcanic eruptions. These seas form the shapes we often recognize when we look at the full moon. Some see a face smiling down, others a rabbit or a woman holding a child. Cultures across the world have seen their own images in those same patterns of darkness and light, each one painting its imagination upon the near side. The Maria were born in times of great violence. After the moon's crust cooled, giant impacts tore through its surface, leaving deep basins. Lava from the moon's molten heart welled up through these cracks and spread across the wounds, filling them until they hardened into the smooth plains we see today. The largest of these is the Mare Imbrium, the Sea of Rains, a vast expanse that stretches over 1,000 kilometers wide. Others bear names that sound like whispers from old dreams. The Sea of Serenity, the Sea of Tranquility, the Ocean of Storms. It was upon this very near side that humanity first set foot in 1969. The Apollo 11 mission landed in the Sea of Tranquility, a place chosen for its flat and gentle terrain. When the astronauts looked up from the gray dust beneath their boots, they saw Earth hanging in the sky, blue and bright and fragile. From that vantage point, the moon's near side became more than a familiar face. It became a bridge between worlds, the first step outward from home. The marks of those journeys still rest there today, preserved in silence, untouched by wind or time. The near side is special not just because it faces us, but because it has evolved differently from the far side. Scientists believe that when the moon formed, its internal heat was not evenly spread. The side facing Earth cooled more slowly due to the gravitational influence of our planet. This allowed volcanic activity to continue longer on the near side, creating the vast maria and smoother regions we see. The far side, in contrast, cooled faster and became thick with mountains and craters. Thus, the moon's two faces tell different chapters of the same cosmic story. One calm and open, one hidden and rough. Through telescopes, we can explore the details of the near side's terrain. The largest craters, such as Tycho and Copernicus, gleam like bright eyes with rays of material stretching outward for hundreds of miles. Each ray marks the path of debris thrown out by ancient impacts. In the soft light of dawn or dusk on the lunar surface, these features cast long, delicate shadows, revealing the rugged texture of the moon's skin. To the human eye from Earth, it all blends into a serene glow. Yet every patch of brightness hides cliffs taller than mountains and valleys wider than entire countries. Over thousands of years, this near side has been a compass for travelers and a clock for civilizations. Its changing phases guided the calendars of ancient peoples, helping them measure time by the growing and fading of its light. Farmers sowed their seeds by it, sailors followed it across dark seas, and poets shaped their verses beneath its glow. The moon's near side became more than an object of science. It became a symbol of rhythm, a heartbeat in the sky that pulsed with the turning of Earth itself. From the near side, Earth always hangs in the same place in the moon's sky. To a person standing there, Earth never rises or sets. It simply hovers, rotating slowly in its own beauty. This eternal gaze binds the two worlds together, one looking up, one looking down, each reflecting the other in silence. And though we have studied every crater and mapped every plane, the near side still carries a feeling that no measurement can capture. The sense of being watched over by something ancient, constant and unspoken. The same surface that shone upon the first fires of humankind now gleams above our cities, unchanged, unhurried, and ever near. Beyond the glowing face of the moon that we know so well lies another world, unseen, untouched by human eyes for most of history. This hidden hemisphere is called the far side of the moon, the part that never turns toward Earth. It is not truly dark, though many once called it the dark side. In truth, it receives as much sunlight as the near side, but from where we stand on Earth, it remains forever out of sight. For thousands of years, the far side was the moon's greatest secret, a place of mystery that poets dreamed about, scientists speculated over, and storytellers filled with wonder and imagination. To the ancient world, the moon's unseen half seemed like the perfect canvas for myth. Some imagined that gods lived there, away from human eyes. Others believed that spirits of the dead made their home on the hidden side, where no light of earth could reach them. There were stories of celestial battles fought beyond the visible curve, or vast cities made of silver dust that no one would ever see. The far side, in all its mystery, became a symbol of the unknown, a place beyond our reach, a reminder that even the things closest to us hold secrets. But as the centuries passed and our curiosity grew sharper, humanity began to seek answers rather than legends. Scientists wondered why the far side was hidden, what it might look like, and whether it was smooth and calm like the near side or wild and cratered. For all our watching, even the most powerful telescopes could not glimpse it. The moon's synchronized dance with Earth made sure that only one face was ever turned our way. It wasn't until the middle of the 20th century that the veil finally lifted. In 1959, the Soviet spacecraft Luna 3 became the first to journey around the moon and send back images of its hidden half. When the photographs reached Earth, the world was astonished. The far side looked nothing like the face we knew. Instead of vast, dark seas of lava, it was covered in a dense, chaotic landscape of craters, ridges, and mountains. Where the near side seemed calm and familiar, the far side appeared wild, ancient, and untouched, a frozen memory of the moon's earliest days. Its surface was brighter, rougher, and far more scarred by impacts. The difference between the two sides was so striking that scientists immediately began to wonder why the moon carried such duality. Why one side was smooth and dark, while the other was bright and battered. Over time, studies revealed part of the answer. The far side's crust is thicker than the near side's, perhaps because of how the moon formed. When the moon was young, molten rock flowed beneath its surface. The side facing Earth, the near side, may have remained warmer longer because Earth's gravity and radiation provided extra heat. This allowed massive volcanic eruptions to fill in the craters and basins with dark basalt, creating the Maria we see from Earth. Meanwhile, the far side cooled more quickly, hardening into a thicker shell that resisted volcanic resurfacing. So, the scars of impacts remained, layer upon layer, creating that rugged and ancient appearance. The far side, in a way, became a time capsule, a record of the solar system's violent youth, preserved in silence. Even now, though spacecraft have mapped every mountain and valley, the far side still feels remote and lonely. It is a place where Earth is never visible in the sky, where the horizon holds only stars and the distant sun. For anyone standing there, Earth, our home, our blue beacon, would never rise. The silence would be absolute, and the sky would remain forever still, unbroken by the familiar presence of our planet. It is this strange separation that gives the far side an aura of solitude, as though it belongs not just to the moon, but to the vast emptiness of space itself. In 1968, during the Apollo 8 mission, astronauts became the first humans to witness the far side with their own eyes. As their spacecraft circled behind the moon, radio contact with Earth was lost, and for a brief time they drifted in total silence, cut off from everything familiar. Then, as they emerged from the shadow, they saw Earth rising above the lunar horizon, glowing like a fragile jewel. That sight, later called Earthrise, became one of the most iconic images ever captured, reminding humanity of how small and precious our world truly is. And though the photograph was taken from the far side, it showed not the hidden moon, but the beauty of Earth itself, the home that the moon forever faces. Since then, several missions have ventured to explore the far side more closely. In 2019, China's Chang'e 4 became the first spacecraft to successfully land there, touching down in the South Pole, Aitken Basin, one of the largest known impact craters in the solar system. from that silent surface. The probe began to study rocks and soils that had never been seen before, revealing clues about the moon's deep interior. Because radio signals from the far side cannot reach Earth directly, the mission used a special satellite placed in lunar orbit to relay its messages. A gentle reminder of how distance and silence still define this mysterious place. The far side's beauty is not like the soft charm of the near side. It is harsh, ancient, and raw. Mountains rise in sharp relief, casting long shadows under the cold light of the sun. Craters overlap in endless patterns, some so old that their edges have blurred into the dust of newer impacts. The landscape glows pale gray and silver, untouched for billions of years. It is a silent museum of celestial memory, a portrait of time unbroken by wind, rain, or life. Though we cannot see it from Earth, the far side remains forever part of the moon's identity, bound to the near side like two halves of a single story. One looks toward us, bright and welcoming. The other faces away, quiet and mysterious, holding the secrets of the past in its unyielding silence. Long before telescopes, before science traced the language of the stars, humankind looked up at the moon with both awe and unease. Its glow was a constant companion in the night sky, a soft lantern that followed the rhythm of time itself. Yet it was never fully understood. People saw it rise and fall, change shape, vanish, and return again. They saw the same markings, the same quiet face gazing down, and they began to wonder, if the moon always shows one side, what does it keep from us? What lies beyond the light we see? Was the moon hiding something from the world below? The ancients did not have equations or instruments, but they had imagination, and imagination filled the heavens. In their myths and stories, the moon became alive, a watcher, a messenger, sometimes even a deceiver. Its hidden half inspired tales of secrets and shadowed realms, places unseen by mortal eyes. The moon's silence made it mysterious, and mystery, to the human mind, always asks for meaning. So every civilization, in its own way, tried to uncover what the moon might be keeping secret. In ancient Greece, philosophers and poets looked upon the moon as a divine being, a celestial goddess who turned her radiant face toward Earth, while concealing her mysteries beyond the horizon. To them, the moon's hidden side was sacred, perhaps the realm of dreams or the shadow of time itself. The Greeks believed in Selene, the moon goddess who drove her silver chariot across the sky each night, her light bathing the sleeping world. Her hidden face symbolized the unknowable, the part of existence that even gods might keep veiled. Far to the east, in China, the moon carried a gentler mystery. Ancient Chinese legends spoke of Chang, the moon maiden who drank an elixir of immortality and floated away to live forever on the lunar surface. People imagined her palace glowing softly on the far side, hidden from the world of men. Every mid-autumn festival, they gazed at the moon, wondering if she was looking back from the side they could never see. The unseen became a place of longing, a realm of dreams beyond reach in India. The moon was known as Chandra, the shining god who rode across the heavens in his white chariot. The phases of the moon were thought to reflect his emotions and his love stories with the stars. The unseen part, the one that never revealed itself, was said to hold the secrets of his divine heart, a space untouched by mortal understanding. Many ancient Indian astronomers, fascinated by the moon's behavior, studied its cycles with precision. Yet even they could not explain why one side remained forever hidden. Among Native American tribes, the moon often played the role of a guardian or a storyteller. Some believed that when the moon disappeared during its new phase, it was traveling to the hidden side to rest or speak with spirits. Others said the moon turned away from Earth to dream new stories to tell when it returned. The unseen half became a sacred place of renewal, a reminder that even light must sometimes retreat into shadow. In ancient Mesopotamia, where early astronomers kept careful records of celestial motion, the moon was seen as a divine messenger between gods and humans. Yet even the most devoted observers noticed its strange habit of showing only one face. They wondered if the moon's hidden side was the realm where the gods gathered, a place shielded from human eyes. The unseen became divine territory, a space of creation and mystery beyond mortal sight. Even in ancient Egypt, where the sun ruled supreme, the moon held quiet power. It was linked to Thoth, the god of wisdom and writing, who measured time by its phases. The Egyptians, meticulous sky watchers, recorded the moon's cycles in their calendars, yet they too wondered why it never turned. Some priests believed that the hidden half was a mirror of the underworld, a shadowland where souls journeyed through the darkness before returning to the light. Across Europe, old folk tales carried whispers of similar wonder. In Norse mythology, the moon was personified as Emni, a being chased across the heavens by a great wolf. When the moon vanished from the sky, people imagined it being swallowed or hidden in fear. Some believed the dark half of the moon was a place of refuge, where it hid from danger until it could safely shine again. To them, the unseen side was not just distance, it was survival, a place of stillness and protection. Even when science began to replace myth, curiosity did not fade. Early astronomers of the Renaissance, armed with the first telescopes, sketched the moon's visible face in detail. They saw mountains, valleys, and shadows, but no matter how they tried, they could not glimpse the hidden side. The thought that half of the moon was forever invisible filled them with both frustration and wonder. What might lie there? Smooth plains or towering cliffs, seas or mountains, perhaps even beings unlike ourselves. The moon's one-sidedness became an irresistible riddle. This quiet question, what the moon hides, lingered for centuries. It was as if the moon itself had chosen to guard a secret from humanity, keeping half of its story beyond our reach. People found poetry in that secrecy. The hidden side became a symbol of all things unknown. The mysteries of love, of death, of dreams, and of the soul. To wonder what the moon hides is to confront the truth that not everything is meant to be seen, that some mysteries are the fabric of the universe itself. Every civilization, every era, every wandering soul who looked up into the night sky has felt that same pull. The quiet sense that the moon, in its calm and silence, knows more than it reveals. Its unchanging face invites trust, but its hidden half whispers curiosity into every heart that dreams beneath its light. In the calm silence of space, where time drifts like a soft current, the moon performs a slow and graceful dance, a spin so gentle, so deliberate, that it matches the rhythm of its journey around the earth. This is what we call synchronous rotation, or tidal locking. It means that the moon takes the same amount of time to complete one rotation on its axis as it does to orbit the Earth once. Because of this perfect balance, we on Earth always see the same familiar face of the moon, the same gentle plains, the same scars of ancient impacts, the same eyes and mouth that form what many call the man in the moon. But this wasn't always the case. Once, long ago, the moon's spin was faster, its rotation untamed and free. Over time, invisible hands, the gravitational pull of Earth, slowed it down, aligning its rhythm with our world's own gravitational heartbeat. Imagine the moon millions of years ago, still young, freshly formed from the debris of a colossal collision between Earth and another celestial body. It was hot, glowing faintly red from the energy of creation. As it cooled and drifted outward, the Earth's gravity began to shape its motion. The moon rotated swiftly then, spinning as most celestial bodies do. But with each passing oon, Earth's gravity pulled on it unevenly, tugging slightly stronger on the side that faced Earth and slightly weaker on the side that faced away. This subtle, persistent force acted like a cosmic brake. Each tug stretched the moon a little, deforming it, creating friction within its rocky body, and that friction converted motion into heat and loss of energy. Slowly, very slowly, the moon's rotation began to slow down. Over millions of years, the moon found itself caught in a delicate balance. Its spin slowed until it matched the time it took to orbit Earth once, about 27.3 days. When this perfect synchronization was reached, the tugging, twisting, and straining within its body ceased. It had found peace, a rhythm that no longer fought against gravity, but moved with it. The moon had learned the secret of cosmic harmony, to spin in perfect time with its journey around the Earth. This dance is not unique to our moon. Across the universe, many moons and planets share this quiet alignment. Mercury once spun freely, too, until the sun's gravity caught it in a similar lock. Though not perfect, Mercury rotates 3 times for every 2 orbits around the sun. But the moon's bond with Earth is deeper, more complete. They are like 2 dancers forever locked in a waltz, one spinning, the other circling, yet their movements always in sync. From Earth's surface, this synchronization feels like magic. No matter where or when you look, you will see the same face of the moon gazing down, serene, constant, eternal. The hidden side, the far side, remains a mystery to the naked eye, cloaked in silence for millennia until human technology revealed it. For countless generations, humans looked up and wondered, does the moon ever turn? Does it ever show another face? Ancient civilizations created myths to explain it. Some said the moon was shy, always turning its same side toward its beloved Earth. Others said it was a guardian, keeping watch over our world, never daring to turn away. But the truth is not one of emotion or choice. It is a truth of physics, born from the balance between motion and gravity. The synchronous spin of the moon is nature's way of finding stillness within movement. It is a lesson whispered in celestial silence. When 2 bodies fall into perfect rhythm, their struggle ends, and what remains is a kind of cosmic peace. If you were to stand on the moon's surface, looking toward Earth, you would never see it move across the sky. The blue planet would hang motionless, suspended forever above one horizon, glowing and turning, showing its phases and colors. The earth from the moon becomes the ever-present companion, while the stars drift by in their slow, endless march. The lunar day, the time from one sunrise to the next, lasts about a month. As the moon turns once on its axis and once around Earth, sunlight slides across its surface like a slow wave, painting the landscape from silver to black and back again. Every shadow is patient. Every beam of light lingers. Time itself feels slower on the moon, stretched by its gentle pace. This synchronous rotation has also shaped the moon's terrain. The side facing Earth has been sculpted differently from the far side. Our side, the near side, bears vast, dark plains called Maria, created by ancient volcanic eruptions that filled great basins with molten rock. The far side, hidden from our view, is rougher, more cratered, older. Because Earth's gravity tugs slightly more on the near side, it influenced the moon's internal structure, making it asymmetrical. Its crust is thicker on the far side, thinner on the near, another quiet consequence of the moon's long, slow adjustment to its eternal dance. In this calm rotation, there is beauty, there is rhythm. There is an ancient patience that speaks of how even chaos can become calm under time's gentle hand. The moon no longer rushes through its spin. It moves with the measured breath of eternity. Its synchronized spin is not just a mechanical phenomenon. It is a story of adaptation, balance, and silent endurance. Through countless nights, as the moon drifts across the velvet sky, it continues its soft rotation, always the same face turned toward Earth, always whispering its age, old secret through the silence of the stars. Then the calm silence of space, where time drifts like a soft current, the moon performs a slow and graceful dance, a spin so gentle, so deliberate, that it matches the rhythm of its journey around the Earth. This is what we call synchronous rotation, or tidal locking. It means that the moon takes the same amount of time to complete one rotation on its axis as it does to orbit the Earth once. Because of this perfect balance, we on Earth always see the same familiar face of the moon, the same gentle plains, the same scars of ancient impacts, the same eyes and mouth that form what many call the man in the moon. But this wasn't always the case. Once, long ago, the moon's spin was faster, its rotation untamed and free. Over time, invisible hands, the gravitational pull of Earth, slowed it down, aligning its rhythm with our world's own gravitational heartbeat. Imagine the moon millions of years ago, still young, freshly formed from the debris of a colossal collision between Earth and another celestial body. It was hot, glowing faintly red from the energy of creation. As it cooled and drifted outward, the Earth's gravity began to shape its motion. The moon rotated swiftly then, spinning as most celestial bodies do. But with each passing on, Earth's gravity pulled on it unevenly, tugging slightly stronger on the side that faced Earth and slightly weaker on the side that faced away. This subtle, persistent force acted like a cosmic brake. Each tug stretched the moon a little, deforming it, creating friction within its rocky body, and that friction converted motion into heat and loss of energy. Slowly, very slowly, the moon's rotation began to slow down. Over millions of years, the moon found itself caught in a delicate balance. Its spin slowed until it matched the time it took to orbit Earth once, about 27.3 days. When this perfect synchronization was reached, the tugging, twisting, and straining within its body ceased. It had found peace, a rhythm that no longer fought against gravity, but moved with it. The moon had learned the secret of cosmic harmony, to spin in perfect time with its journey around the Earth. This dance is not unique to our moon. Across the universe, many moons and planets share this quiet alignment. Mercury once spun freely, too, until the sun's gravity caught it in a similar lock. Though not perfect, Mercury rotates 3 times for every 2 orbits around the sun. But the moon's bond with Earth is deeper, more complete. They are like 2 dancers forever locked in a waltz, one spinning, the other circling, yet their movements always in sync. From Earth's surface, this synchronization feels like magic. No matter where or when you look, you will see the same face of the moon gazing down, serene, constant, eternal. The hidden side, the far side, remains a mystery to the naked eye, cloaked in silence for millennia until human technology revealed it. For countless generations, humans looked up and wondered, does the moon ever turn? Does it ever show another face? Ancient civilizations created myths to explain it. Some said the moon was shy, always turning its same side toward its beloved Earth. Others said it was a guardian, keeping watch over our world, never daring to turn away. But the truth is not one of emotion or choice. It is a truth of physics, born from the balance between motion and gravity. The synchronous spin of the moon is nature's way of finding stillness within movement. It is a lesson whispered in celestial silence. When 2 bodies fall into perfect rhythm, Their struggle ends, and what remains is a kind of cosmic peace. If you were to stand on the moon's surface, looking toward Earth, you would never see it move across the sky. The blue planet would hang motionless, suspended forever above one horizon, glowing and turning, showing its phases and colors. The Earth from the moon becomes the ever-present companion, while the stars drift by in their slow, endless march. The lunar day, the time from one sunrise to the next, lasts about a month. As the moon turns once on its axis and once around Earth, sunlight slides across its surface like a slow wave, painting the landscape from silver to black and back again. Every shadow is patient. Every beam of light lingers. Time itself feels slower on the moon, stretched by its gentle pace. This synchronous rotation has also shaped the moon's terrain. The side facing Earth has been sculpted differently from the far side. Our side, the near side, bears vast, dark plains called Maria, created by ancient volcanic eruptions that filled great basins with molten rock. The far side, hidden from our view, is rougher, more cratered, older. Because Earth's gravity tugs slightly more on the near side, it influenced the moon's internal structure, making it asymmetrical. Its crust is thicker on the far side, thinner on the near. Another quiet consequence of the moon's long, slow adjustment to its eternal dance. In this calm rotation, there is beauty, there is rhythm. There is an ancient patience that speaks of how even chaos can become calm under time's gentle hand. The moon no longer rushes through its spin. It moves with the measured breath of eternity. Its synchronized spin is not just a mechanical phenomenon. It is a story of adaptation, balance, and silent endurance. Through countless nights, as the moon drifts across the velvet sky, it continues its soft rotation, always the same face turned toward Earth, always whispering its age, old secret through the silence of the stars. The synchronization remains perfect, the harmony unbroken, as if the moon itself has chosen serenity over freedom, rhythm over chaos, stillness over motion. Synchronization remains perfect, the harmony unbroken, as if the moon itself has chosen serenity over freedom, rhythm over chaos, stillness over motion. In the calm silence of space, where time drifts like a soft current, the moon performs a slow and graceful dance, a spin so gentle, so deliberate, that it matches the rhythm of its journey around the Earth. This is what we call synchronous rotation, or tidal locking. It means that the moon takes the same amount of time to complete one rotation on its axis as it does to orbit the Earth once. Because of this perfect balance, we on Earth always see the same familiar face of the moon, the same gentle plains, the same scars of ancient impacts, the same eyes and mouth that form what many call the man in the moon. But this wasn't always the case. Once, long ago, the moon's spin was faster, its rotation untamed and free. Over time, invisible hands, the gravitational pull of Earth, slowed it down, aligning its rhythm with our world's own gravitational heartbeat. Imagine the moon, millions of years ago, still young, freshly formed from the debris of a colossal collision between Earth and another celestial body. It was hot, glowing faintly red from the energy of creation. As it cooled and drifted outward, the Earth's gravity began to shape its motion. The moon rotated swiftly then, spinning as most celestial bodies do. But with each passing oon, Earth's gravity pulled on it unevenly, tugging slightly stronger on the side that faced Earth and slightly weaker on the side that faced away. This subtle, persistent force acted like a cosmic brake. Each tug stretched the moon a little, deforming it, creating friction within its rocky body, and that friction converted motion into heat and loss of energy. Slowly, very slowly, the moon's rotation began to slow down. Over millions of years, the moon found itself caught in a delicate balance. Its spin slowed until it matched the time it took to orbit Earth once, about 27.3 days. When this perfect synchronization was reached, the tugging, twisting, and straining within its body ceased. It had found peace, a rhythm that no longer fought against gravity, but moved with it. The moon had learned the secret of cosmic harmony, to spin in perfect time with its journey around the Earth. This dance is not unique to our moon. Across the universe, many moons and planets share this quiet alignment. Mercury once spun freely, too, until the sun's gravity caught it in a similar lock. Though not perfect, Mercury rotates 3 times for every 2 orbits around the sun. But the moon's bond with Earth is deeper, more complete. They are like 2 dancers forever locked in a waltz, one spinning, the other circling, yet their movements always in sync. From Earth's surface, this synchronization feels like magic. No matter where or when you look, you will see the same face of the moon gazing down, serene, constant, eternal. The hidden side, the far side, remains a mystery to the naked eye, cloaked in silence for millennia, until human technology revealed it. For countless generations, humans looked up and wondered, does the moon ever turn? Does it ever show another face? Ancient civilizations created myths to explain it. Some said the moon was shy, always turning its same side toward its beloved Earth. Others said it was a guardian, keeping watch over our world, never daring to turn away. But the truth is not one of emotion or choice. It is a truth of physics, born from the balance between motion and gravity. The synchronous spin of the moon is nature's way of finding stillness within movement. It is a lesson whispered in celestial silence. When two bodies fall into perfect rhythm, their struggle ends, and what remains is a kind of cosmic peace. If you were to stand on the moon's surface, looking toward Earth, you would never see it move across the sky. The blue planet would hang motionless, suspended forever above one horizon, glowing and turning, showing its phases and colors. The Earth from the moon becomes the ever-present companion, while the stars drift by in their slow, endless march. The lunar day, the time from one sunrise to the next, lasts about a month. As the moon turns once on its axis and once around Earth, sunlight slides across its surface like a slow wave, painting the landscape from silver to black and back again. Every shadow is patient. Every beam of light lingers. Time itself feels slower on the moon, stretched by its gentle pace. This synchronous rotation has also shaped the moon's terrain. The side facing Earth has been sculpted differently from the far side. Our side, the near side, bears vast, dark plains called Maria, created by ancient volcanic eruptions that filled great basins with molten rock. The far side, hidden from our view, is rougher, more cratered, older. Because Earth's gravity tugs slightly more on the near side, it influenced the moon's internal structure, making it asymmetrical. Its crust is thicker on the far side, thinner on the near. Another quiet consequence of the moon's long, slow adjustment to its eternal dance. In this calm rotation, there is beauty, there is rhythm. There is an ancient patience that speaks of how even chaos can become calm under time's gentle hand. The moon no longer rushes through its spin. It moves with the measured breath of eternity. Its synchronized spin is not just a mechanical phenomenon. It is a story of adaptation, balance, and silent endurance. Through countless nights, as the moon drifts across the velvet sky, it continues its soft rotation, always the same face turned toward Earth, always whispering its age, old secret through the silence of the stars. The synchronization remains perfect, the harmony unbroken, as if the moon itself has chosen serenity over freedom, rhythm over chaos, stillness over motion. in the vast quiet of space, where the stars shimmer like frozen raindrops of light. An invisible force binds the moon to the earth. It cannot be seen, yet it is felt everywhere. In the pull of the tides, in the rhythm of the oceans, in the very stillness of the moon's face that forever gazes upon us. This force is gravity, Earth's unseen hand, stretching across space to hold the moon in its eternal embrace. It is a pull so gentle and yet so powerful that it has shaped the fate of our nearest celestial companion for billions of years. When the moon first formed, it was born from violence. A colossal collision between the young Earth and a massive celestial body sent molten rock and vapor spiraling into space. Over time, that debris gathered, cooled, and became the moon, glowing faintly, spinning freely in the cold void. In those early ages, the moon rotated quickly, showing many faces to the newborn Earth. But from the moment it appeared, it fell under Earth's gravitational spell. Earth's gravity reached out, wrapping around it, and the invisible tug began. Gravity is a sculptor that never sleeps. It molds not just movement, but the very structure of the worlds it touches. The Earth's gravitational pull did not tug evenly on the moon. It pulled harder on the side closer to Earth, and softer on the side farther away. This unequal pull created a slight stretch, a tidal bulge, as if the moon were made of soft clay being drawn in two directions. Though solid, the moon's interior was not perfectly rigid in those early days. The repeated tugging and stretching generated heat through friction, softening its layers even more. The more the Earth pulled, the more energy was lost from the moon's rotation. Slowly, across millions of years, its spin began to slow. Imagine a child's spinning top gradually losing speed. It turns fast at first, whirring with freedom. But as friction eats away its energy, the spin slows until it finds a balance between motion and stillness. The moon's rotation followed that same law. The Earth's gravity kept pulling at its bulges, twisting and straining it, until its rotation perfectly matched the time it took to orbit once around Earth. When that harmony was reached, the tugging eased. The moon was no longer fighting against the pull. It had found its rhythm, locked forever in synchronous rotation. The invisible tug of Earth's gravity does not stop there. Even now, this silent connection continues to influence the moon's path. Though the moon no longer changes its spin in a noticeable way, it still experiences the faint pull that keeps it bound in orbit. It cannot drift away completely, nor can it fall toward Earth. The forces are balanced in a graceful tension. It is a dance of attraction and resistance, a bond that maintains perfect distance. Each night when we look up, we see the same face of the moon, but we also witness the quiet result of this delicate equilibrium. This gravitational relationship goes both ways. The moon's pull affects Earth as well, lifting the oceans, creating the tides, and even stretching Earth's crust ever so slightly. But Earth's influence on the moon is stronger because of its much larger mass. The balance between the two is not equal. It is like an older sibling gently guiding a younger one, shaping its path without ever letting go of its hand. Through this unseen bond, Earth holds the moon steady, ensuring that its familiar face always turns toward home. If you could somehow watch this exchange unfold over eons, it would appear almost like a slow motion waltz. The moon would drift around Earth in silence, and Earth's gravity would act like a steadying hand on its shoulder, guiding its spin, keeping its gaze fixed. There is no sound in space, but if there were, this motion would sing the softest of notes, a low hum of balance, an endless whisper of harmony between two cosmic partners. This invisible tug has also shaped how the moon looks. Because of the gravitational strain, its far side is slightly different, thicker in crust and heavier with craters. The side facing Earth, under the pull of gravity for billions of years, became smoother, filled with dark basalt plains called maria, ancient seas of cooled lava. The moon's very shape was molded by this invisible relationship. It is not perfectly round. It is slightly elongated toward Earth, its body forever leaning in the direction of the force that holds it captive. On the moon's surface, this tug cannot be felt as wind or vibration. It is not something one could touch or see, yet it defines the moon's entire existence. Without Earth's gravity, the moon would have spun freely, its face ever-changing, its orbit perhaps unstable. It might have drifted too far, lost to the dark vastness of space. But gravity tethered it, not too tight, not too loose, just enough to keep it near, to make it a faithful companion in the night sky. The bond between Earth and moon is ancient and silent, but it echoes in every part of life. The tides rise and fall because of it. The length of our days has been stretched by it. Even the stability of Earth's tilt, which gives us seasons, is maintained by the moon's steadying presence, an effect born from that same gravitational tie. The invisible tug, though it works quietly, shapes time, motion, and life itself. If one could imagine the universe as a great web of invisible strings, gravity would be the thread that connects it all. The moon and earth are two beads upon that string, forever drawn toward each other, forever held apart by the same force that binds them. Their connection is neither fragile nor forceful. It is balanced, patient. Eternal through this silent pull, earth and moon move as one, their destinies intertwined in an unending motion of attraction and grace. In the silent unfolding of the cosmos, where time stretches into eternity and motion shapes destiny, the moon's journey toward stillness began with what we now call tidal locking. It is a term that sounds mechanical, almost simple. Yet it carries within it the weight of billions of years. The story of how two celestial bodies came to move in harmony. How the moon learned to turn at just the right pace, to always show one face to the earth. To understand the birth of tidal locking is to understand how invisible patience can sculpt even the coldest stone. How gravity, relentless and soft, can reshape the fate of worlds. After the chaos of its creation, when the young earth had been struck by a massive object, and the debris had gathered to form the moon, the new satellite spun quickly. Its early rotation was untamed, wild, like a newborn starling testing its wings for the first time. Around and around it turned, showing every face to its glowing parent below. But from the moment it was born, it was caught in Earth's gravitational grasp. This force did not simply hold it in orbit. It began to shape the rhythm of its very being. The moon was not perfectly rigid. Beneath its surface, molten layers moved, flexed, and yielded. As Earth's gravity pulled harder on one side than the other, it stretched the moon slightly, creating bulges. Two small tidal humps, one facing Earth and one opposite. These bulges did not align perfectly with the line between the Earth and moon. Because the moon was spinning faster than it orbited, the bulges lagged behind, creating a kind of cosmic resistance. Earth's gravity then pulled on these off-center bulges, twisting the moon ever so slightly, creating friction deep within its rocky body. That friction became heat, invisible, slow, burning heat that softened the moon's interior and gradually bled away its rotational energy. Each twist and pull acted like a brake, slowing the moon's spin a tiny bit more with every orbit. Over millions upon millions of years, this process continued, a gentle battle between motion and gravity. The moon resisted at first, not consciously but by the inertia of its spin. Yet gravity does not rush, it waits, constant and unwavering. It pulls with the same quiet force today as it did eons ago, and in time, it always wins. Eventually, the moon's rotation slowed until it took exactly as long to spin once on its axis as it did to orbit Earth once. In that instant, something remarkable happened. The bulges lined up perfectly with Earth's pull. The twisting, the straining, the internal friction, all of it ceased. The moon had found equilibrium. The tugging stopped not because gravity gave up, but because the dance had found its perfect rhythm. This was the birth of tidal locking, the moment when chaos gave way to calm. The moon was no longer spinning freely. It was synchronized, its face forever turned toward Earth. From that day forward, the same craters, the same plains, the same silent eyes of the lunar face would watch over our world. The far side, now hidden forever from direct view, would remain untouched by human eyes until the modern age. But to the ancient sky, watchers who looked up at the glowing orb, the moon seemed eternal, constant, unmoving, a companion who never turned away. Though this balance appears effortless now, the process that created it was one of immense transformation. The friction generated within the moon as it slowed down likely kept parts of its interior warm, long after it should have cooled. The stretching and squeezing altered its structure, giving rise to the slight asymmetry we can measure even today. The near side's crust became thinner, more prone to volcanic activity, while the far side's crust grew thicker, more heavily cratered. The moon's shape itself was molded by the same forces that locked it in place, leaving it slightly elongated, always pointing one end gently toward its captor. Even now, tidal locking is not unique to our moon. It is a natural end to many gravitational relationships throughout the universe. The large moons of Jupiter and Saturn, O Europa, Ganymede, Titan, are all tidally locked to their planets. Some exoplanets orbiting close to their stars are locked as well, showing one eternal day and one eternal night. It is the cosmos' way of finding balance, a universal rhythm of stillness born from motion. The birth of tidal locking is a lesson written across the stars. Even in the vastness of space, there is a tendency toward harmony, a desire for balance in every gravitational bond. If one could stand on the moon and look back at Earth during the long ages when this locking was still forming, one would have seen a strange sight. The Earth would have drifted slowly across the lunar sky, tracing small, lazy arcs as the moon's rotation lagged and shifted. Then, over time, those motions would have slowed, the Earth's position in the sky becoming more stable, until finally it hung still, unmoving, permanent, like a blue jewel suspended above the horizon. From that point onward, the moon would always know where to find Earth. It would never again lose sight of its partner. This slow alignment did not just shape motion, it shaped the very rhythm of existence on Earth. The stability of the moon's orbit, born from tidal locking, has long kept Earth's tilt steady, preserving our seasons, our climate, and perhaps even the delicate conditions that allow life to flourish. In this way, the birth of tidal locking was not only the moon's transformation, it was Earth's salvation. It ensured that the dance between the two would remain gentle, balanced, and enduring. The birth of tidal locking stands as one of the quiet marvels of cosmic history. Not a sudden event, but an endless unfolding. A process so slow that even the oldest mountains on Earth would rise and crumble many times before it was complete. And yet, through patience and persistence, gravity achieved what no force of chaos could undo: perfect, unbroken symmetry between motion and stillness, between Earth and the moon. Far above the quiet hum of human life, where space stretches into infinity and time flows like a silent river, the Earth and moon have been dancing together for billions of years. Their steps are not hurried, their rhythm is ancient. This is the slow dance of time, a cosmic waltz so gradual that no single lifetime can see its change. Yet its touch shapes everything we know. The moon's unchanging face, the tides that breathe in and out along our shores, even the length of our days. All are the graceful outcomes of this timeless motion. To understand the slow dance of time is to glimpse how eternity moves, not in sudden bursts, but in whispers, in small shifts so delicate that they can only be measured in ages, not moments. When the moon was young, the dance began with chaos. The newborn satellite spun rapidly, orbiting close to Earth, caught in a gravitational storm of energy. Each day on Earth was only a few hours long, and the tides were fierce, roaring higher and retreating faster than anything we could imagine today. Earth's pull was strong, a hand that reached out across space and caught the moon in its invisible grasp. The two began to exchange energy, each shaping the other's destiny. With every passing orbit, a tiny fraction of motion was traded for stability. The moon's spin slowed, Earth's rotation lengthened, and the music of time itself changed its tempo. This exchange was not loud or violent. It was gentle, subtle, and continuous. As the moon rotated, Earth's gravity tugged at its uneven shape, creating those small tidal bulges that always tried to realign themselves with the pull. Each misalignment, each slight delay, created friction within the moon's interior, turning motion into heat, spin into stillness. The process was so slow that it took billions of years for the moon's rotation to synchronize with its orbit. During that time, the moon drifted farther away, as if taking a step back to match Earth's rhythm. Today, that slow retreat continues. About 4 centimeters each year, a distance so small that only precise instruments can detect it. And yet this constant, creeping motion is the mark of time's invisible passage, the echo of that ancient dance still unfolding. If one could speed up time, like watching clouds race across the sky, the story of the Earth and Moon would appear like a graceful choreography. The Moon would spiral outward in a slow, majestic curve, while Earth's rotation would gradually ease, its days stretching longer. The balance between them would remain unbroken, a partnership that changes form but never essence. The slow dance of time is patient, but it never stops. It is as steady as breath, as inevitable as dawn. Through this gradual movement, the moon's face became fixed. The tidal locking we see today, where the same side always faces Earth, was not a sudden choice, but the result of this long, slow evolution. Each millisecond of friction, each minuscule adjustment in spin, was a step in the choreography. When the balance was finally reached, the moon no longer turned faster than it orbited. It had learned to move in perfect sync with Earth's pull, its rotation and revolution becoming one seamless motion. That harmony marked the end of its restless youth and the beginning of an eternal stillness, a steady rhythm that would persist for all future time. But the slow dance of time did not end there. Even now its influence continues. The same tidal forces that once slowed the moon are now affecting Earth. Our planet's rotation is gradually decreasing, ever so slightly, as the moon drifts away. The length of a day increases by fractions of a second every century. It is such a tiny change that we cannot feel it, but it is measurable, and it tells us that the dance goes on. The tides, too, carry the mark of this relationship. They pull at our shores, rise and fall in a cadence set by the moon's position, a daily reminder of that ancient rhythm that governs both sea and sky. This slow exchange of energy is not simply mechanical. It is poetic, even spiritual in its patience. The earth and moon are bound not by chains, but by motion, by a relationship that grows gentler as time stretches on. What began as a fierce gravitational tug of war has softened into a quiet, perpetual embrace. The dance of time has polished the rough edges of their movements, bringing them into perfect balance. The result is a celestial stillness that feels eternal to us, though it is still slowly, silently changing. If we could watch the future unfold millions of years from now, the moon would be farther away than it is today. The Earth's days would be longer still, and perhaps far in the distance of time, both might reach a state of complete tidal locking, where Earth, too, shows only one face to the moon. In that future, their dance would end in total stillness, a final pose frozen in the choreography of time. It is a future none of us will see, yet it waits patiently, written in the physics of their bond. The slow dance of time is not just about motion. It is about transformation. It teaches us that great changes do not happen in sudden bursts, but in the quiet persistence of small, steady moments. Just as mountains rise grain by grain and rivers carve valleys drop by drop, the moon's face was locked through the endless patience of gravitational balance. In its soft glow, we see the record of time's gentle touch, the calm result of a process that has been unfolding since the dawn of the solar system. When we look up at the moon, glowing softly against the black sky, we are looking at time itself made visible. The same face that ancient humans gazed upon is the one we see tonight. It has not changed, yet behind its stillness lies motion, an invisible rhythm that has never ceased. The slow dance of time continues, quiet and eternal, moving with the calm certainty of the universe itself. There is a soft, eternal rhythm that moves through the oceans, a gentle breathing of the planet itself, the rise and fall of the tides. It is a rhythm so ancient that it began before human memory, before life crawled from the sea. This rhythm is guided by the moon, whose silent pull stretches across space to touch every shore, every wave, every grain of sand. The earth and moon share a secret conversation through these tides, a constant exchange of motion and gravity. Every moment, the moon's pull draws the oceans slightly toward it, lifting the water in a smooth arc, while the Earth's rotation carries that bulge around the globe. The result is a beautiful pattern of rise and retreat, a dance that has continued for billions of years, shaping coastlines, ecosystems, and even the pulse of time itself. As the moon glides through its orbit, It tugs on the Earth's oceans with invisible fingers. The water nearest to the moon feels the strongest pull, rising slightly toward it, while on the opposite side of the planet, inertia creates another bulge, a twin tide reaching outward. Between these two crests lie the low tides, where the waters pull back and rest. This constant movement, this rhythm of approach and retreat, is not just the heartbeat of the sea, but a reflection of the cosmic balance between gravity and motion. The moon's gravity holds the oceans in its sway, while Earth's spin gives them rhythm together. They create the ceaseless ebb and flow that every coastal creature knows intimately. A rhythm older than time itself as we measure it. This interplay of tides is not only a display of beauty, but also a delicate exchange of energy. As the moon pulls at the oceans, it slows Earth's rotation ever so slightly, transferring some of Earth's angular momentum into its own orbit. In return, the moon drifts away, slowly, silently, almost imperceptibly. About 4 centimeters each year, the tides, in their endless movement, act as the mediators of this cosmic transaction. They transform the friction of water against the planet's surface into heat. And that friction becomes the language of time. The tides are not just water in motion. They are gravity made visible, time made fluid, and connection made tangible between two celestial bodies forever bound in motion. If we were to stand at the edge of the sea and watch long enough, the movement of the tides would seem like a living breath, a slow inhale as the water rises, a patient exhale as it retreats. For ancient civilizations, this was more than a natural phenomenon. It was divine. The moon was seen as a goddess, a keeper of time and mystery, and the tides were her whispers upon the earth. Farmers followed her phases to plant their crops. Sailors watched her glow to guide their journeys, and poets found in her light a reflection of life's own cycles. Constant, gentle, and eternal. But the rhythm of tides is not the moon's only gift. Alongside the rise and fall of waters comes another dance, the rhythm of shadows. Every month as the moon moves around Earth, its light changes shape, from a thin crescent to a full circle and back again. It reveals the quiet passage of time. These phases are born from sunlight and shadow, from the moon's position relative to Earth and the sun. The same force that moves the tides also paints the moon's face, changing its expression night after night. In this shifting glow, the earth witnesses the interplay of light and darkness, an echo of balance that governs the entire cosmos. when the sun, earth, and moon align perfectly, the rhythm of shadows deepens into something rare and breathtaking, an eclipse. In those moments, shadows stretch across the heavens, weaving patterns of light and darkness that remind us how deeply intertwined these celestial bodies are. A lunar eclipse bathes the moon in a deep copper hue as Earth's shadow wraps around it, while a solar eclipse turns day to twilight, letting the moon briefly hide the brilliance of the sun. These events are the peaks in the rhythm of tides and shadows, moments when the cosmic dance pauses in a perfect alignment, allowing us to glimpse the precision and harmony of the universe. Yet even outside these grand events, the rhythm persists. Every tide, every shadow, every reflection of moonlight on the sea carries the same message, that all motion is connected. The moon, the oceans, and the turning earth are part of one grand cycle, each influencing the other in ways both subtle and profound. When we gaze at the moon's reflection rippling across the surface of the sea, we are seeing more than light on water. We are witnessing the physical trace of gravitational connection, the bond that ties two worlds together in an unbroken loop of motion and stillness. The rhythm of tides and shadows shapes life itself. It dictates when creatures feed, when they migrate, when they rest. The pull of the moon guides the spawning of fish, the blooming of coral, and even the behavior of birds along the shore. The very rhythm of biological life is tuned to the cosmic pulse of lunar gravity. Humans, too, though we live far from the sea, are quietly influenced by this rhythm. It can be felt in our moods, our sleep, our sense of time. The same rhythm that has whispered through every generation since the beginning of consciousness. The connection between tides and shadows is not only physical, but deeply symbolic. The tides remind us that all things move in cycles, that what rises will fall, and what withdraws will return. The shadows remind us that light and darkness coexist, that every moment of brightness carries its own gentle shade. Together, they form a meditation on balance between motion and stillness, between giving and taking, between the visible and the unseen. In the quiet of night, when the moon hangs full and silver over the darkened sea, the rhythm is most visible. The waves glisten under her gaze, rising to greet her, then retreating again into the vastness. Each tide, each flicker of reflected light, is part of that timeless communication between sky and sea. A song that began when the earth was young and will continue long after memory fades. The rhythm of tides and shadows is the universe breathing softly, an unending motion that connects the human heart to the pulse of the cosmos, far beyond what the eye can see, beyond the glow of moonlight and the shimmer of tides. There exists an unseen force, a silent, constant pull that binds Earth and the moon together. This invisible tug of war has been unfolding for billions of years, shaping both worlds in ways so profound that we often forget it's happening at all. It is a contest not of strength, but of balance, a quiet, endless embrace where neither side truly wins, yet neither lets go. The Earth and the moon are caught in this gravitational relationship, each tugging at the other's mass through the fabric of space. Gravity, though invisible, is the thread that weaves their destinies together. It stretches between them like a vast, unbreakable cord, keeping the moon tethered in its orbit while subtly reshaping both bodies over time. It is not a force that shouts, but one that whispers. It works slowly, patiently over Yunes, the sculptor of celestial harmony. In the earliest days of their relationship, the tug of war was fierce and chaotic. The young moon orbited much closer to Earth, its speed swift and its pull intense. The Earth spun rapidly then. A single day lasted only a few hours. The gravitational pull of the moon raised enormous tides, not of water, but of molten rock and magma that flowed beneath the planet's surface. These tidal bulges, drawn slightly ahead of the moon's path by Earth's rotation, began to pull back on the moon's orbit, creating friction and resistance. In return, the moon tugged on those same bulges, slowing Earth's spin and stealing tiny fragments of its rotational energy. That stolen energy became momentum for the moon, pushing it farther away, little by little into the quiet distance we know today. This is the invisible tug of war, a delicate exchange of energy, a balance of forces where both the Earth and the moon change each other. The moon's pull on Earth gives rise to the tides we see in the oceans, and those tides, in turn, affect the moon's orbit. It's a conversation in motion, a back and forth exchange that never truly ends. Every high tide that washes the shore, every retreating wave that slips away, carries with it a trace of that ancient interaction between two celestial companions. The outcome of this tug of war is something scientists call tidal locking. It is the reason the moon always shows one face to Earth, the same serene surface that has watched over humanity for countless generations. The invisible pull between the two worlds eventually brought the moon's rotation into perfect synchronization with its orbit. For every time the moon completes one journey around the Earth, it also completes one rotation on its axis. The effect is subtle, but absolute. One hemisphere of the moon forever faces Earth, while the other remains hidden in perpetual solitude. It is a balance that feels almost like destiny, as if the forces of the universe carefully shaped it for symmetry and peace. Yet it was not a gentle process. The tug of war was once violent. The stretching, flexing, and friction within the moon's body generated immense heat, melting parts of its interior and reshaping its surface. The same forces slowed Earth's rotation, making days longer and the planet's movement more measured. Over billions of years, this cosmic tension settled into stillness, a calm equilibrium after a storm of energy and motion. Even now, the tug continues, though its effects are faint. The moon still drifts away inch by inch, as if slowly loosening the cord that connects it to its parent world. Earth's days continue to lengthen, but so gradually that no single generation could ever notice. The pull between them is soft but eternal, a reminder that motion and connection exist even when nothing seems to move. If one could imagine this relationship in human terms, it would resemble two dancers bound by invisible threads. One leads, the other follows. Yet both depend on the rhythm they create together. The moon pulls the Earth's oceans, and the Earth's gravity pulls the moon's path. They move in harmony, each shaping the other's identity. Without this connection, the Earth's tilt might wobble wildly over time, its climate more unstable, its nights darker and colder. The moon's gentle gravity steadies the planet's spin, keeping the seasons predictable, the climate mild, and the rhythms of life steady. This invisible tug of war is more than physics. It's a story of companionship and balance. It tells of how opposites attract, how motion gives rise to stillness, and how two bodies can remain forever linked across the emptiness of space. The Earth holds the moon close, and the moon returns the favor by keeping the planet stable, pulling softly, always toward itself. This connection is written not only in equations, but in the cycles of life, in the rhythm of tides, the pull of seasons, and the deep calm that comes when moonlight falls across the world at night. Though unseen, the tug is everywhere. It shapes the path of oceans, the timing of days, and the quiet poetry of nightfall. Every beam of moonlight that touches the Earth is the result of this unbroken bond. It is an exchange of energy so subtle, so ancient, that we can almost feel it when we stand beneath the stars. The gentle reminder that even in the vast silence of space, everything is connected. The invisible tug of war continues endlessly, not as a battle, but as an embrace, a quiet balance between attraction and release, gravity and grace, motion and peace. It is the universe's way of reminding us that stillness is born from motion, that closeness is created by distance, and that even the calmest face in the night sky is held in place by forces we cannot see. There is a quiet rhythm that connects the moon and earth, a graceful motion so steady, so perfect, that it feels almost like choreography. The moon's synchronized dance is one of the universe's most elegant miracles, unfolding every night above our heads, often unnoticed, yet endlessly precise. This dance, known as synchronous rotation, is the reason the moon always shows one face to Earth. It is not an illusion nor coincidence, but the result of billions of years of gravitational balance. A celestial waltz where every step, every spin, every orbit happens in perfect time. In the early days of the solar system, the moon spun faster on its axis, turning freely as it circled the young Earth. But over time, the pull of Earth's gravity began to influence that motion, tugging gently yet persistently on the uneven mass within the moon. The moon is not a perfect sphere. Its shape is slightly distorted, stretched by the same forces that cause Earth's tides. Each time it rotated, the gravitational pull from Earth would grip those bulges, creating friction inside the moon, a slow, steady resistance that transformed its spin. With every passing millennium, the rotation slowed, little by little, until one day it matched its orbit. At that precise moment, balance was achieved. The same side of the moon began facing Earth forever, locked in an unending rhythm of unity. This synchronization is not forced, it is graceful. The moon's rotation and orbit now move together in perfect harmony. As it circles the Earth once every 27.3 days, it also completes one full turn on its axis. The result is a gentle illusion. From Earth, we see only one familiar face, marked by dark plains and bright highlands, gazing back across the distance of space. The far side, often miscalled the dark side, remains hidden from view, though it too receives light and shadow, just as the side we see. The synchronization is so complete that even after billions of years, the moon never turns its hidden face toward us, as if keeping one half of its story secret, locked behind the veil of orbit. This cosmic dance reveals a deep truth about the nature of balance. The moon is constantly in motion, spinning, orbiting, gliding through space. Yet to our eyes it seems still, serene, motionless. This illusion of calm is the result of perfect synchronization, a phenomenon that can only arise when two bodies become attuned to each other's rhythm. The gravitational embrace between Earth and Moon has reached equilibrium. The energy of motion has become the harmony of connection. The Moon does not resist the Earth's pull, nor does it surrender to it completely. Instead, it moves with it, matching its pace, mirroring its influence. If one could watch this dance from far above, from the stillness of deep space, the beauty of it would be breathtaking. The moon would be seen circling the earth, like a companion forever turning toward its partner, never looking away. The earth, massive and radiant, would spin with a slower grace, its oceans responding in kind, the waves swelling gently toward their celestial guide. The two would appear as a pair locked in quiet communion, their movements bound by invisible threads of gravity that neither can escape nor would wish to. This synchronization affects more than just how we see the moon. It influences the very rhythm of life on Earth. The predictability of the moon's phases, the steady timing of tides, the cycle of light and darkness across its surface, all stem from this precise alignment. The moon's unchanging face has given humanity a sense of constancy in the vast uncertainty of the cosmos. For ancient observers, this reliability was a source of wonder and comfort. They traced its patterns through the months, built calendars around its phases, and found in its unblinking gaze a symbol of time's continuity. To them, the moon was both a clock and a companion, its slow, silent turn mirroring the rhythms of human existence. Yet beneath that tranquility lies immense motion, a ceaseless flow of forces working in balance. The synchronization is not a frozen state. It is a living equilibrium. The moon's orbit wobbles slightly, tilts gently, drifts ever so slowly away from Earth as it loses tiny fragments of energy to tidal friction. And still, through all these shifts, the relationship holds steady. The same face always looks back. The same dance continues unbroken. It is a testament to how motion can create stillness, how tension can create peace, how the universe itself seeks symmetry in the midst of chaos. The moon's synchronized dance also teaches us about the language of gravity. It is not a force of domination, but of connection. It pulls, it molds, it harmonizes. It takes what is wild and spins it into rhythm. It is through gravity that the moon learned to turn in time with Earth's embrace. And through that same bond, the Earth learned the patience of longer days. Both worlds have changed because of the other. Earth's oceans feel the moon's pull, and the moon's orbit feels Earth's drag. Their identities are intertwined. Even in silence, this dance continues, unseen yet ever present. Every night, when we look up and see the moon resting softly in the sky, we are witnessing a moment frozen in harmony. Its calm face, the one that has inspired poets, guided travelers, and comforted dreamers, is the outward reflection of an ancient balance. Beneath that stillness lies motion. Behind that serenity lies the gentle pull of a gravitational partnership that has endured for billions of years. The synchronized dance of the moon is not just an astronomical fact. It is a reminder of the beauty that arises when two forces learn to move together instead of apart. It is the whisper of balance made visible in the sky, a story told in light and shadow, rotation and orbit, silence and motion. Every time the moon rises, it performs this dance once more, slow, deliberate, eternal, as the earth turns beneath it and the stars look on in quiet approval. For all of human history, half of the moon has remained unseen. A side forever turned away from the gaze of earth, cloaked in mystery and silence. This hidden face, often called the far side of the moon, has never revealed itself to human eyes from the surface of our planet. It is not because it is perpetually dark. Sunlight touches it just as it touches the side we see. But because of the moon's perfect synchronization with Earth, one side always faces us, the other always turns away, completing the balance of the moon's eternal dance. Yet the far side, though invisible to us, holds as much beauty, history, and wonder as the face that shines down upon our nights. Imagine standing on that hidden hemisphere under the same vast sky, but without the sight of Earth hanging above. There, in that alien silence, you would see the stars as they truly are, unfiltered, untouched by atmosphere, cold and clear. You would see the sun rise and fall in a weak rhythm, bathing the rugged landscape in golden light, then leaving it to freeze beneath endless night. It is a world of stillness, untouched by the patterns of day and night as we know them, ruled instead by the slow turning of lunar time. The hidden face of the moon is not smooth and familiar like the one we know. It is rough, ancient, and scarred. Vast highlands rise like frozen waves of stone, and craters stretch for miles upon miles, untouched by wind or water. The far side's surface is older than the side we see, pocked with the memories of cosmic impacts that shaped the early solar system. The most striking of these is the South Polar Aitken Basin, one of the largest and oldest impact craters in the entire solar system, a wound carved deep into the moon's crust billions of years ago. Its depths reach almost 13 kilometers, its width spans over 2 arosen, and within it lie minerals that have remained undisturbed since the dawn of lunar history. When humanity first saw this hidden world in 1959, through the lens of the Soviet spacecraft Luna 3, it was as if a curtain had been lifted from the moon's face. The images that came back were grainy, shadowed, and incomplete. Yet they revealed a truth no one had imagined. The moon's hidden half looked entirely different from the one we had always known. Where the near side bore large, dark plains of volcanic rock known as Maria, the far side was dominated by rugged terrain and craters, almost devoid of the smooth seas that give the visible face its familiar patterns. This contrast raised questions that echoed through the halls of science and wonder alike. Why is one side smooth and dark, while the other is rough and bright? What ancient forces shaped this asymmetry? Scientists believe that the answer lies in the moon's earliest days, when its crust was still forming. The near side, facing Earth, was constantly bombarded by heat and radiation from the young planet. The Earth's gravitational pull and residual heat likely kept that hemisphere slightly warmer for millions of years, causing its crust to remain thinner. The thinner crust allowed lava from within the moon to seep through and form the dark plains we see as the Maria. On the far side, shielded from Earth's warmth, the crust thickened and hardened quickly, trapping the molten rock beneath the surface. As a result, the hidden face became a world of craters and mountains, a monument to the rawness of creation. The hidden face also tells a story of silence. Because the moon has no atmosphere, sound does not travel across its surface. Every impact, every collision, every tremor from ancient times happened in silence. The craters on the far side stand as frozen echoes of those moments, perfectly preserved. Some scientists believe that the far side may also hold valuable records of the early solar system, preserved in rock and dust untouched by the winds of time. If one could walk there, each footprint would remain for millennia, a delicate trace in a world that never forgets. The hidden face is not without its mysteries. In recent years, spacecraft have detected faint hints of unusual materials buried beneath its surface, traces of metals and radioactive elements that suggest a complex history. Some researchers even speculate that the remnants of the asteroid that created the South Pole Aitken Basin might still lie deep below the crust, its fragments fused into the moon's core. Others wonder whether the far side might hold clues about how planets and moons evolve over time, or even why the Earth, moon system became so stable compared to others in the solar system. Beyond its scientific intrigue, the hidden face holds a deep, poetic significance. It reminds us that every familiar thing in the universe has a side unseen, that what we perceive is never the whole truth. The moon, which has been our constant companion for as long as humanity has existed, hides half of itself from us, not out of secrecy, but out of the quiet balance of motion and gravity. This concealment gives the moon its mystery, its allure. It is a celestial mirror of life itself, showing one face to the world, while another remains turned inward, private and infinite. When the sun rises over the far side, the landscape glows in silver light, revealing endless ridges and shadows stretching to the horizon. There is no earth in that sky, no familiar blue sphere watching from above, only the cold stillness of space. Yet, in that emptiness, there is a sense of peace. The hidden face belongs to no one and nothing. It is pure, untouched solitude. It watches the stars from a vantage point that Earth will never know, cradled in the quiet rhythm of the universe. And so, while one side of the moon keeps us company through our nights, the other side rests in eternal silence, unseen, unspoken, yet forever part of the same celestial being. Both sides move together in the same dance, bound by the same gravity, sharing the same destiny, one visible, one concealed. The hidden face remains a symbol of the unknown, reminding us that the universe is always deeper than what we can see, that even in the things closest to us, there are mysteries waiting beyond the light. There is a quiet force that binds the moon and Earth together, an invisible tether woven through the fabric of space, ancient and unbreakable. This force is gravity, the most patient sculptor in the universe, the silent architect of orbits, tides, and time. It pulls without touch, commands without sound, and yet its power shapes everything from the drifting of oceans to the rise of mountains. Between Earth and its moon, gravity has formed a partnership that has lasted for over 4 billion years, a delicate, eternal embrace that defines the rhythm of both worlds. From the moment the moon was born, torn from the molten Earth by a cataclysmic collision, gravity began its work. The newborn moon, glowing red with heat, circled the planet at a distance far closer than it is today. So close that it loomed enormous in the sky, filling it with light and wonder. The young Earth spun quickly then, its days lasting only a few hours, and the pull between the two was fierce. Gravity tugged at their molten surfaces, raising massive tides of rock and magma. The Earth's pull tried to keep the moon near, while the moon's gravity pulled at Earth's oceans and crust, slowing its spin. Over time, the two began to settle into balance, one losing energy, the other gaining distance, until they reached the harmony we see today. This gravitational bond is a dialogue, a conversation of motion and resistance that has shaped both bodies across the ages. The Earth's gravity keeps the moon in orbit, forever falling toward it but never reaching its surface. The moon's gravity, in turn, stretches Earth's oceans, sculpting the rise and fall of tides. It is a partnership of mutual influence, an exchange of energy that ensures neither moves alone. When the moon pulls on Earth's oceans, it draws the water slightly toward it, creating the familiar bulges of high tide. Yet, because Earth rotates faster than the moon orbits, those bulges drift ahead of the moon's position, tugging back on it, slowing it further and pushing it gradually outward into space. Each tide, each wave, each quiet ripple that touches the shore carries with it the faint echo of that gravitational exchange. Over billions of years, this interaction has done more than move the tides. It has shaped time itself. The Earth's rotation has slowed from the fierce speed of its youth to the steady 24-hour rhythm we know today. The moon, once close and wild, now drifts roughly 384,000 kilometers away, moving farther by about 4 centimeters each year. This slow dance of distance is the story of equilibrium, a testament to how even in the vastness of space, motion tends toward balance. One day far in the future, the Earth's rotation will slow enough that its spin will match the moon's orbit, and both worlds will face each other forever, locked in eternal stillness, two celestial companions bound in the calm of gravity's final harmony. Yet this gravitational bond is not just a scientific phenomenon. It is also the silent reason life on Earth has been able to flourish. Without the moon's pull, Earth's axis, the invisible line around which it spins, would wobble chaotically over time. The moon acts as a stabilizer, keeping Earth's tilt steady, ensuring that the seasons remain predictable and that the climate does not spiral into chaos. It is because of this steadying presence that life found time to grow, evolve, and thrive. The balance between warmth and cold, between day and night, owes its existence in part to the gravitational hand of the moon. It does not just light our nights, it holds our world steady. The moon's gravitational bond also shapes the subtle patterns of nature. Many species, from tiny crustaceans in the sea to large mammals along the coasts, live according to the rhythm of the tides. The pull of the moon dictates when they feed, when they migrate, when they rest. Even plants along shorelines have evolved to sense the regular rise and retreat of the waters. In this way, gravity, invisible and untouchable, has become a heartbeat for life. The moon and earth, in their cosmic relationship, have created not just movement, but the very conditions for existence. This bond extends beyond physical influence into a quiet harmony that resonates through human imagination. For thousands of years, people have looked up at the moon and felt its pull, not just in the tides of water, but in the tides of the heart. Poets and dreamers have sensed the connection without understanding the science, feeling instinctively that the moon and earth are bound together in a cosmic partnership. The gentle glow that spills across the night sky is more than reflected sunlight. It is the visible trace of gravitational love, a reminder that connection can exist without touch, that closeness can span emptiness. Even now, with all our knowledge and instruments, the moon's bond with Earth remains an awe-inspiring mystery. Gravity itself is still one of the universe's quiet secrets. We can measure it, feel its effects, yet we do not fully understand its essence. What is this invisible thread that ties the moon to the earth to the sun, and all the stars together in a single cosmic fabric? It is the same force that keeps galaxies bound and planets spinning. Yet here, between Earth and moon, it feels deeply personal. A bond we can see in the tides, in the sky, in the slow turning of time. If one could stand on the surface of the moon and look back at Earth, the bond would be visible in its stillness. The Earth would hang motionless in the lunar sky, glowing blue and white, always in the same spot, never rising, never setting. That view, eternal and unchanging, is the physical expression of gravitational connection. The moon circles the Earth, yet the Earth remains forever fixed in its lunar sky, just as the moon remains constant in ours. Two worlds held by invisible hands, forever turning, forever watching, forever bound in the quiet embrace of gravity. There is a quiet force that binds the moon and earth together, an invisible tether woven through the fabric of space, ancient and unbreakable. This force is gravity, the most patient sculptor in the universe, the silent architect of orbits, tides, and time. It pulls without touch, commands without sound, and yet its power shapes everything from the drifting of oceans to the rise of mountains. Between Earth and its moon, gravity has formed a partnership that has lasted for over 4 billion years, a delicate, eternal embrace that defines the rhythm of both worlds. From the moment the moon was born, torn from the molten earth by a cataclysmic collision, gravity began its work. The newborn moon, glowing red with heat, circled the planet at a distance far closer than it is today. So close that it loomed enormous in the sky, filling it with light and wonder. The young Earth spun quickly then, its days lasting only a few hours, and the pull between the two was fierce. Gravity tugged at their molten surfaces, raising massive tides of rock and magma. The Earth's pull tried to keep the moon near, while the moon's gravity pulled at Earth's oceans and crust, slowing its spin. Over time, the two began to settle into balance, one losing energy, the other gaining distance, until they reached the harmony we see today. This gravitational bond is a dialogue, a conversation of motion and resistance that has shaped both bodies across the ages. The Earth's gravity keeps the moon in orbit, forever falling toward it, but never reaching its surface. The moon's gravity, in turn, stretches Earth's oceans, sculpting the rise and fall of tides. It is a partnership of mutual influence, an exchange of energy that ensures neither moves alone. When the moon pulls on Earth's oceans, it draws the water slightly toward it, creating the familiar bulges of high tide. Yet, because Earth rotates faster than the moon orbits, those bulges drift ahead of the moon's position, tugging back on it, slowing it further, and pushing it gradually outward into space. Each tide, each wave, each quiet ripple that touches the shore carries with it the faint echo of that gravitational exchange. Over billions of years, this interaction has done more than move the tides. It has shaped time itself. The Earth's rotation has slowed from the fierce speed of its youth to the steady 24-hour rhythm we know today. The moon, once close and wild, now drifts roughly 384,000 kilometers away, moving farther by about 4 centimeters each year. This slow dance of distance is the story of equilibrium, a testament to how even in the vastness of space, motion tends toward balance. One day, far in the future, the Earth's rotation will slow enough that its spin will match the Moon's orbit, and both worlds will face each other forever, locked in eternal stillness, two celestial companions bound in the calm of gravity's final harmony. Yet this gravitational bond is not just a scientific phenomenon. It is also the silent reason life on Earth has been able to flourish. Without the Moon's pull, Earth's axis, the invisible line around which it spins, would wobble chaotically over time. The Moon acts as a stabilizer, keeping Earth's tilt steady, ensuring that the seasons remain predictable and that the climate does not spiral into chaos. It is because of this steadying presence that life found time to grow, evolve, and thrive. The balance between warmth and cold, between day and night, owes its existence in part to the gravitational hand of the Moon. It does not just light our nights, it holds our world steady. The Moon's gravitational bond also shapes the subtle patterns of nature. Many species, from tiny crustaceans in the sea to large mammals along the coasts, live according to the rhythm of the tides. The pull of the Moon dictates when they feed, when they migrate, when they rest. Even plants along shorelines have evolved to sense the regular rise and retreat of the waters. In this way, gravity, invisible and untouchable, has become a heartbeat for life. The Moon and Earth, in their cosmic relationship, have created not just movement, but the very conditions for existence. This bond extends beyond physical influence into a quiet harmony that resonates through human imagination. For thousands of years, people have looked up at the Moon and felt its pull, not just in the tides of water, but in the tides of the heart. Poets and dreamers have sensed the connection without understanding the science, feeling instinctively that the Moon and Earth are bound together in a cosmic partnership. The gentle glow that spills across the night sky is more than reflected sunlight. It is the visible trace of gravitational love, a reminder that connection can exist without touch, that closeness can span emptiness. Even now, with all our knowledge and instruments, the Moon's bond with Earth remains an awe-inspiring mystery. Gravity itself is still one of the universe's quiet secrets. We can measure it, feel its effects, yet we do not fully understand its essence. What is this invisible thread that ties the Moon to the Earth to the Sun, and all the stars together in a single cosmic fabric? It is the same force that keeps galaxies bound and planets spinning. Yet here, between Earth and Moon, it feels deeply personal. a bond we can see in the tides, in the sky, in the slow turning of time. If one could stand on the surface of the moon and look back at Earth, the bond would be visible in its stillness. The Earth would hang motionless in the lunar sky, glowing blue and white, always in the same spot, never rising, never setting. That view, eternal and unchanging, is the physical expression of gravitational connection. The moon circles the Earth, yet the Earth remains forever fixed in its lunar sky, just as the moon remains constant in ours. Two worlds held by invisible hands, forever turning, forever watching, forever bound in the quiet embrace of gravity. There exists a side of the moon that no human eye on Earth can see directly, a face turned forever away, shrouded in silence and mystery, the hidden half of our celestial companion. It has been called many names throughout history. The far side, the dark side, the secret face of the moon, though dark, is not quite true, for it, too, receives sunlight. The name carries the weight of its enigma, for it is dark only in the sense that it is unseen, untouched, and unknown to the gaze of humankind for most of history. The hidden face of the moon is not merely a region of rock and dust. It is a symbol of all that lies beyond our immediate understanding, a reminder that even in the most familiar things, mysteries remain. The reason this far side remains concealed is rooted in the delicate gravitational bond between Earth and the moon, a relationship so intimate it has locked the moon into what scientists call synchronous rotation. This means that the moon spins on its axis at exactly the same rate mood that orbits Earth. One complete turn takes as long as one complete orbit, about 27.3 days. Because of this perfect balance, as the moon circles our world, it always keeps the same face toward us. Every mountain, every crater, every shimmering plain that we see has been visible to humanity since the beginning, while the other side, equally real, equally ancient, remains turned away, hidden in eternal solitude. For thousands of years, humanity wondered what lay beyond that silvery curve. Ancient poets and philosophers imagined it as a place of wonder or danger, a land of eternal night, a realm of spirits, or perhaps the home of gods. To them, the hidden face was more than a mystery of nature. It was a metaphor for the unknown itself. It represented the limits of human vision and knowledge, the unreachable edge of understanding. When people gazed at the moon, they were not just looking at a celestial object. They were confronting the boundaries of their world, a reminder that there would always be something beyond their sight. It wasn't until the age of space exploration that humanity finally saw what had always been hidden. In 1959, the Soviet spacecraft Luna 3 became the first to photograph the moon's far side, sending back grainy, black and white images that forever changed our perception of our closest celestial neighbor. For the first time, we realized that the far side was not so different, and yet, strangely not the same. It was rugged and cratered beyond imagination, marked by countless scars of ancient impacts, where the near side, the one we see from Earth, is covered with smooth, dark plains called Maria. The far side is mostly mountainous and heavily pitted. Its surface told a story of violence and endurance, untouched by the lava flows that had once softened the face turned toward Earth. The difference between the two sides puzzled scientists. Why should one face of the moon be smoother and darker, while the other remains rough and bright? Over time, the answer began to take shape. The near side, it seems, has a thinner crust, allowing ancient volcanic activity to flood its basins with dark basalt, creating the maria that form the familiar shapes we see. The man in the moon, the rabbit, or whatever face one imagines. The far side, however, has a thicker crust, one that resisted such flows. It remained high and rugged, scarred and silent, untouched by the same molten seas. Thus, the hidden face became a frozen record of the moon's earliest history, a window into what the entire moon may have once looked like before time. Gravity and cosmic impacts shaped it into its current form. Even though the far side is invisible from Earth, it is not entirely beyond our reach. Modern spacecraft have mapped it in exquisite detail, revealing craters larger than countries and mountains taller than any on Earth. The largest of these features is the South Pole Aitken Basin, one of the biggest impact craters in the entire solar system. A scar so vast that it could fit the entire United States within its rim. It tells a story of cosmic violence billions of years old, when asteroids and comets rained upon the early moon, sculpting its face in fire and dust. This unseen landscape, preserved in silence, carries the marks of creation itself. Yet, despite all the data, all the images, and all the maps, the far side retains its sense of mystery. There is something profoundly humbling about knowing that, even as we stand under the bright glow of the full moon, half of it remains forever hidden from our eyes. It is a poetic truth, a reflection of how the universe reveals and conceals, how it allows us to see only a part of its vastness. The hidden face is not a flaw of nature. It is a deliberate balance, a cosmic design that mirrors our own condition. Just as the moon shows us one side and hides the other, so too do we reveal parts of ourselves to the world and keep others secret, unseen, but deeply real. In the quiet of night, when the moon rises high and the world softens into sleep, the thought of that unseen face can stir a deep wonder. Somewhere, beyond the curve of light, lies a land bathed in the same sunlight that touches us, yet destined never to meet our gaze directly. Its mountains glow in brilliance when we see only darkness. Its shadows fall when our nights are bright. There is a strange beauty in that eternal opposition, a kind of cosmic symmetry that binds the seen and the unseen together in harmony. The hidden face of the moon reminds us that the universe is full of dualities, light and shadow, presence and absence, the known and the unknown. It reminds us that there is always another side to every story, another truth waiting beyond what we can see. As the moon orbits endlessly, showing us only its familiar face, it carries with it a quiet promise that even the things we know best have secrets, and that the most ordinary lights in our sky still hold realms of wonder just beyond the reach of our sight. High above Earth, where the pull of gravity and the silence of space intertwine, the moon performs a delicate and timeless motion, a motion so perfectly balanced that it has shown humanity the same face for billions of years. This phenomenon, known as synchronous rotation, is one of nature's most elegant harmonies. It is the reason we always see one side of the moon and never the other. But beneath this graceful stillness lies an extraordinary scientific truth, a slow cosmic dance shaped by invisible forces, a story written by gravity itself. To understand synchronous rotation, we must begin by imagining the moon not as a motionless sphere hanging in space, but as a traveler bound to Earth in a ceaseless orbit. The moon circles our planet once every 27.3 days, tracing an invisible path through the darkness. At the same time, it spins once around its own axis, also every 27.3 days. This perfect equality of spin and orbit means that, as it turns, it always keeps one face directed toward Earth. From our point of view, the moon seems not to rotate at all. It rises, glides across the sky, and sets, showing us the same familiar patterns of light and dark, the same seas of gray, the same tranquil plains, the same ancient scars. But from the moon's perspective, this is no stillness. It is a constant, measured turning, a slow pirouette that takes nearly a month to complete. The question is, how did this balance come to be? How did the moon become locked in such perfect synchronization with Earth? The answer lies in the long, patient hands of gravity and a phenomenon known as tidal locking. When the moon first formed billions of years ago, it likely rotated much faster than it does now. Its days and nights were shorter, and each side would have faced Earth at different times. But as it orbited, Earth's gravitational pull began to stretch and squeeze the moon, creating what scientists call tidal bulges, slight elongations in its shape, like soft humps facing toward and away from Earth. These tidal bulges were not static. The moon's rotation caused them to shift slightly out of alignment with the line connecting Earth and the moon. This misalignment created a tiny but persistent gravitational tug, a braking force that slowed the moon's spin, just as a hand pressing gently against a spinning wheel would slow it down over time. Over countless centuries, the friction caused by these tidal forces dissipated the moon's rotational energy as heat, gradually reducing its spin rate. Eventually, the rotation slowed until the moon's day matched its orbital period. And at that moment, the tug reached equilibrium. The same side of the moon was now locked facing Earth, and the process was complete. This cosmic balancing act was not unique to the moon. In fact, tidal locking is a common phenomenon throughout the universe. Many moons in our solar system are tidally locked to their planets, such as Jupiter's Galilean moons or Saturn's Titan, each forever showing one face to its host. Even in distant star systems, exoplanets orbiting close to their suns are believed to be tidally locked, with one hemisphere scorched in eternal daylight and the other frozen in perpetual night. It is a universal pattern, a quiet rule written into the mathematics of gravity, shaping worlds near and far. What makes Earth's moon special, however, is how clearly we can observe this balance. When we look at the moon, we are witnessing a state of perfect rhythm between spin and orbit, one that took billions of years to establish. This synchronous rotation is so exact that, from Earth, we see roughly 59% of the moon's surface over time, not just half, due to a gentle wobble called libration. Libration is like a subtle nod or sway in the moon's motion, caused by small variations in its orbit and axial tilt. It allows us fleeting glimpses beyond the edge, letting us peer momentarily into the regions of the far side, though never enough to see it completely. Even in this small detail, the moon reminds us that perfection in nature often comes with a touch of imperfection, a living balance between motion and stillness. The science of synchronous rotation also reveals the hidden connection between motion, energy, and time. When the moon's spin slowed, the energy it lost did not vanish. Instead, it was transferred to its orbit, gradually pushing the moon farther away from Earth. Even now, the moon continues to drift outward, inching away at a rate of about 3.8 centimeters per year. This means that the bond between Earth and the moon is not frozen, but evolving, slowly, gracefully, almost imperceptibly. The dance of synchronous rotation is therefore not a static pose, but a living movement that unfolds over vast stretches of time. This gentle separation has deep consequences. As the moon moves farther away, Earth's rotation also slows in response, lengthening our days by tiny fractions of a second each century. This mutual exchange, this tidal dialogue, has shaped both worlds. It has calmed Earth's wobble, stabilized its tilt, and given our planet the steady rhythm of seasons and tides that sustain life. Without the moon's gravitational influence, Earth's climate might have wavered in wild extremes. Thus, synchronous rotation is more than a scientific curiosity. It is part of the reason why life on Earth could flourish in balance. If one were to stand on the moon's surface and look at Earth, the view would be extraordinary. From the near side, Earth would hang motionless in the sky, always in the same spot, turning slowly through day and night. The stars would glide by, but Earth would remain, glowing blue and white, its weather shifting, its continents glimmering under sunlight. For an observer on the far side, however, Earth would never rise at all. The sky would hold only the distant stars and the brilliance of the sun, that eternal stillness, one side forever gazing, one forever unseen, is the direct result of the synchronous rotation that binds the two worlds together. Synchronous rotation is, in essence, a lesson in harmony. It teaches us that balance is not the absence of movement, but the perfection of it. It shows that even opposing forces, spin and orbit, pull and resistance, can find a rhythm so steady that it appears motionless from afar. It is a reminder that what seems constant is often the result of unseen motion, that stillness itself can be the product of eternal movement. Through this graceful celestial bond, the moon and Earth remain locked in a dance older than life, a dance that will continue for eons. Slow, patient, and beautifully precise. far below the stillness of the night sky, while the moon drifts silently above. The oceans of Earth move in rhythm with its pull. Every rise and fall of the tide, every rolling wave that kisses the shore, carries within it the invisible hand of lunar gravity. It is a relationship older than humanity itself, a gentle, ceaseless exchange between Earth and its moon, where water becomes the language through which gravity speaks. Though the moon hangs hundreds of thousands of kilometers away, its influence reaches across that vast emptiness, tugging softly at the very skin of our planet, shaping the rhythm of its seas, its coastlines, and its life. The force that drives this eternal motion is gravity, the same universal attraction that binds planets to stars and keeps our feet on the ground. The moon's gravity, though weaker than Earth's, has a unique effect because it acts unevenly across our planet. On the side of Earth closest to the moon, the gravitational pull is stronger, drawing the ocean waters slightly toward it. This creates a bulge, a swelling of the sea that becomes a high tide. On the far side of the planet, the pull is weaker, and as a result, the inertia of Earth's spinning motion causes another bulge to form there as well. Between these two bulges, the ocean levels fall, creating low tides. Thus, at any given time, two high tides and two low tides move around Earth like a slow, watery heartbeat, following the moon's orbit through the sky. This constant tug of war between Earth and moon gives rise to one of nature's most elegant patterns. As Earth spins on its axis, different regions pass through these bulges, experiencing their own cycles of rising and falling seas. In most coastal areas, two high tides and two low tides occur each day, though the timing shifts gradually. Because while Earth turns once every 24 hours, the moon moves slightly ahead in its orbit. It takes about 24 hours and 50 minutes for the cycle to repeat, meaning the tides arrive a little later each day, following the moon's slow journey across the heavens. This unhurried rhythm has shaped the pulse of Earth for eons, a soft and endless conversation between land, water, and sky. The sun also plays a part in this celestial choreography. Its gravitational pull, though much stronger than the moon's, acts from a far greater distance, and its influence combines with that of the moon in subtle ways. When the sun, moon, and Earth align, during new moons and full moons, their combined gravity creates the most extreme tides, known as spring tides. The ocean's rise becomes higher and its retreat deeper, as if the Earth itself breathes in great slow waves. Conversely, when the sun and moon are at right angles to each other. During the first and third quarters of the lunar cycle, their forces partially cancel out, producing gentler neap tides when the difference between high and low water is smallest. These variations give the tides their graceful, ever-changing rhythm, a natural pulse that mirrors the lunar phases we see above. For ancient peoples, the connection between the moon and the tides was not merely scientific. It was sacred. Long before the mechanics of gravity were understood, coastal civilizations noticed how the moon's phases governed the sea's moods. Fishermen planned their journeys by its light. Farmers tracked it for planting seasons, and poets wove it into tales of longing, mystery, and change. In their eyes, the moon was a living being, whispering to the oceans and stirring their depths. Even today, the rhythm of the tides retains something of that quiet magic. A natural reminder that we live on a planet still deeply entwined with the cosmos. But the moon's pull does more than move water. It subtly reshapes Earth itself. The solid ground beneath our feet also rises and falls in response to lunar gravity, though by only a few centimeters. A reminder that the entire planet, not just its oceans, dances to the moon's rhythm. These tidal movements create friction within Earth's crust and oceans, gradually slowing the planet's rotation over immense timescales. As a result, Earth's days lengthen by tiny fractions of a second each century, while the moon drifts ever so slightly farther away, retreating at a rate of about 3.8 centimeters per year. It is a slow, graceful evolution. The same tidal forces that move the seas also shape the destiny of both worlds. The power of the tides reaches deep into the web of life. Coastal ecosystems thrive in the space between high and low water, the intertidal zone, where the rhythm of the moon determines the rhythm of survival. Crabs, barnacles, seaweed, and countless other creatures have adapted to this lunar schedule, their lives unfolding in time with the ocean's rise and fall. Even coral reefs, glowing under tropical waters, spawn in synchrony with the full moon, releasing clouds of life into the sea at the same moment. The moon's gravity has thus become more than a force. It is a heartbeat that echoes through biology, a cosmic metronome guiding the rhythms of the living world. In a deeper sense, the tides are Earth's way of responding to the moon's presence. They are the physical manifestation of their gravitational bond, an ongoing dialogue that binds two celestial bodies across the darkness of space. Without the moon, Earth's tides would be faint and irregular, driven mostly by the sun. The coastlines would lie quieter, and the oceans would lose their familiar rhythm. Yet with the moon's gentle influence, the seas are alive with motion, breathing in and out, forever reaching toward the sky, forever drawn back home. Even on nights when the moon is hidden behind clouds, its pull does not waver. Beneath the surface of the world's oceans, its gravity continues to move billions of tons of water, shaping the flow of currents and sculpting the contours of coastlines, each tide, each wave. Each whispering ripple along the shore is part of this endless exchange. A reminder that the connection between Earth and Moon is not distant or abstract, but deeply real, woven into the rhythm of every living thing. The moon, though silent, speaks through motion, and the tides are its voice, soft, patient, and eternal, high above the sleeping world, where silence hums like a soft, endless lullaby. The moon and the earth continue their graceful waltz, a dance that has lasted for billions of years. It is a quiet rhythm, a harmony so perfect that even time itself seems to bow before it. The earth spins slowly, tilting and twirling, while the moon follows faithfully, circling her in an eternal embrace. Neither rushes, neither leads. It is a balance, a delicate, unbroken rhythm of motion that defines the essence of their cosmic companionship. This dance is not loud or fierce. It is gentle, ancient, and filled with the wisdom of the stars. The moon always shows one face, but in return, she sees all the faces of the earth, watching her seasons bloom and fade, her oceans shimmer, her clouds swirl together. They create a song of balance that echoes through the stillness of space. The relationship between Earth and Moon is not merely mechanical. It is poetic. Every rotation, every orbit, every tug of gravity is part of a conversation, a dialogue spoken in movements rather than words. The earth pulls the moon with her invisible hand, and the moon responds with a gravitational whisper that calms the earth's spinning pace. Overowns. This whisper slowed the earth's rotation, while gently locking the moon's face to her. They have shaped each other. Two cosmic artists sculpting one another's fates through invisible threads of force. The tides that rise and fall upon the shores of Earth are the moon's signature upon our world, a gentle reminder that her presence is constant, her influence tender yet immense. Every wave that kisses the sand carries her rhythm, a message from the night sky saying, I am here, I move with you. As the moon orbits the earth, She keeps one side always turned toward her partner. This is tidal locking, the quiet equilibrium where gravity, distance, and motion find their eternal compromise. It is a state of perfect harmony, reached after countless ages of slow adjustment. In the beginning, the moon spun freely, showing all her sides to the vast cosmos. But over time, Earth's gravity reached out, tugging at her mass, shaping her spin until both bodies fell into synchrony. It was not a sudden change, but a long, slow evolution, a cosmic sigh stretched across billions of years, and now they rest in balance. The moon turns once on her axis in the same time it takes to circle the Earth. It is this delicate timing that makes her face appear unchanging to us, though she too is in constant motion. In this balance, there is beauty, but also fragility. If the moon were to drift too far, the tides would weaken, the rhythm of the oceans would falter, and the Earth's tilt might wobble, throwing the climate into chaos. If she were to come closer, the tides would grow monstrous, tearing at the coasts, reshaping continents. But she stays, at just the right distance, held in a perfect embrace where both are safe. It is a partnership defined by trust, a steady companionship that makes life on Earth possible. The moon steadies Earth's wobble, ensuring that the seasons flow gently from one to the next, that no great imbalance tips our world into turmoil. And in return, Earth gives the moon her orbit, her path, her silent companionship through the darkness. This eternal balance is not frozen. It breathes. Slowly the moon drifts away from Earth, inch by inch each year. The dance is expanding but not ending. Even as she moves away, the moon remains connected, her influence softer but still present. Millions of years from now, the rhythm may shift again, the tides may change their pattern, but the story of their unity will remain etched in cosmic history. They are bound not by force alone, but by the poetry of balance, a relationship that mirrors every duality in the universe, light and shadow, pull and release, motion and stillness. When one looks up at the night sky, seeing that familiar face shining down, it is easy to forget the immense precision that allows it. That same face, gazing through time, watched over the birth of mountains, the rise of oceans, the first breaths of life. She has never turned away. Her gaze has been constant, her patience infinite. The Earth, in turn, has cherished her light, letting it guide travelers, poets, and dreamers. Together, they embody what it means to exist in harmony, a balance so delicate, so enduring, that it transcends the boundaries of time itself. In this celestial partnership lies a secret lesson whispered through the fabric of the universe. That balance is not stillness, it is motion held in peace. The moon and earth remind us that even the grandest relationships are shaped not by dominance or control, but by quiet understanding, mutual pull, and infinite patience. Every orbit, every tide, every night of soft lunar glow is a testament to that truth. The eternal dance of balance between the earth and the moon.